Hello, my name is ZB32 and today I have a few matches, or maybe only two. I mean, it is few, so anyway. So I have a few matches of Andre against Sigh, and they are both good players and there's a lot to learn from them. I'll primarily focus on the build order that they do and why they do it and how the game pretty much goes. And maybe you can learn something from that. Actually, you will learn something from that because they are good players. And it's actually a blast to know what people do and how the games can evolve when two players know what they're doing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. So how do I do this? Okay, so I have... Okay, they also changed that. That's kind of nice. How do I change this? So, build order. So this is Andre. So the first thing he did, he immediately made that village center. He didn't wait 1 second. He just built it ASAP. And he sent his villagers to the first area with meat, which are deers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the last patch, wait, no, the new patch, there was an upgrade for they improved the gathering rate. So anyways, so that's what he did. Immediately went for the food, and that is a good idea. That's standard. All right. All right. On the other side here, Sigh, he did the same, but with one small difference. He didn't build any resource resource camp, so he has to walk a little bit further, so that takes a bit longer. And now he's pop capped. Fine. I think they're both, or maybe no, they're not pop capped yet. No, up to 10 it's not. I can see it from here. All right, so both players, well, he was pop capped for a bit, but not really by a lot. What's going on here? Oh, this does look kinda sus. Look at this, they're very close to each other. Legit one face to each other. But there's a lot of fertile land here, you can see that. Similarly, actually no. Sigh has the advantage in terms of fertile land, and Andre doesn't. So Andre has the disadvantage from the farm's perspective. So this is gonna be unique. Alright, so after the... How many workers? Right. Okay, so that's the vision of Andre. So after Andre... is there any information I can gather? No. Okay. So after Andre has... I don't know how many workers on food. That's kind of important to know, you know? But anyways. I see that he puts... 3 workers on clay pit and a little bit of workers on wood. Could be different, I don't know, but he started to put them on that. He has quite a amount of clay already. I wonder what he will do with that clay. And Andre doesn't like this map. I wonder why. This map... What's bad about this map? I'm kind of curious. So... why is it that bad? I don't get it. Anyway, so now we go to the perspective of Sigh. I see a similar pattern. 3 workers on wood, 3 workers on... 3 workers on clay. Villagers, maybe it's more accurate to call them. 3 villagers on clay, and the rest are going for wood. Alright, I see a pattern. Why though? I don't know why. I don't know. Anyways, we got all the information we need, so we can see that in terms of resources, Andre is maybe not the best in food. Maybe I'm wrong. They have slight worker difference, 2 worker difference, but that could be substantial. The first thing they got is the improved speed. That's what Andre got, and I'm gonna assume Sigh did the same. Yes, he did. All right. So now the question is, do they put more workers on clay or do they just produce more workers on wood? Now, apparently no, they just put more workers on wood. Alright. Until, okay, he put one more worker on clay. And now we got a palace rush. And then, well, there was an archery range. I wonder what happened there. Okay, so I see immediately castle rush. Now this castle only costs 150 food, clay, and wood. So maybe they try to maximize that. So Sigh got exactly 150 clay and exactly 150 wood and exactly 150 food, so he could do that. Now in terms of, what is this? Do we have a meetup in the middle, saying hi to each other? We gathered the boars, and now what? What are you gonna do now? Where are you going? Oh, Sigh, you sneaky little bastard. You're going for those boars. But those boars have tusks, and they're not afraid to use it. You need more than 5 workers, you know? More than 5? Oh man, they're gonna spear them. Don't you know that boars are really dangerous? If you go into the forest and there are boars there, if you don't know where the boars are, if there are trees and stuff like blocking your vision, those boars, their tusks going into the stomach, there's a good chance you're gonna die. I'm just saying. Anyways, those workers are probably made from steel because they killed those boars. It's amazing. I don't know. There's one random deer, antelope, and yeah. Anyways, still no change to the amount of workers on the clay from Sigh. And on the other side, we have actually a reduction of 1 worker from Andre. So that means that clay, while it is important, it's easily gatherable. So if you don't use it that often, you don't need a lot of workers because you can just gather it over time. And the second thing that Andre took the moment he got the knowledge is the code of law. The reason for that, he probably has a little bit of disadvantage in the number of workers. So he probably decided, yeah, let's make more workers. And now we got heavy spearmen knocking on the door. Sneaky bastards, but anyway. On the other side, we go to Sigh. What did he do with his tech points? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Maybe soon. I mean, there's Scout poking someone. That's a smart idea. There's a little bit of, actually quite a lot of berries here, so that's gonna be useful for quite some time. Actually they nerfed the gathering rate for berries, but it's still better than farms, so I guess that's something. Right, so now we have heavy axemen against a spearman. Now one problem I have in mind, right? Apparently 1 speed is enough to catch up to the spearmen, but it's not quite enough, right? Not quite enough. Anyway, Sigh decided to go for wheelbarrow, pretty much just gathering more resources and being faster. I don't know what is better in this case, right? I really don't know, because this amplifies all of the economy if you have a lot of workers. But if your workers don't move a lot, then that's not really important, is it? It's not really important. But early on, it may be not that important. Probably. I don't know. I see some watchtower going up, so Sigh is preparing for the annoying watchtower, put some units into them shooting kind of strategy. And we see up the north, some workers are challenging Sigh. So we got the first battle. It's worker battle, and because Sigh has the wheelbarrow, they're a little bit faster, so they can run around with their resources. That's a lot of resources, by the way. They have a 50% more carry rate, so in a sense that's kind of nice, yeah, because you reduce the amount of times you need to travel, if you need to travel, because you can gather more resources, so that's not bad. But I always like to maximize my gathering by just building more resource camps and whatnot, so I don't need to travel a lot. So in that sense, that's tech knowledge or tech point or tech thing. It's not too important in that perspective. But who knows? I'm a beginner. I don't know anything. The first thing I can tell is that Andre focus all of his fertile land for farms wherever he has, and he did not give up on the north or northwest or whatnot because he needs meat. And my phone ring. No, that's bad. Anyway, so we see a little bit of engagements here and there. No, man, that's gonna be rough. Those archers gonna be annoying for Andre. And you can see the worker difference is huge. And Andre has no army to support that. So I wonder how he will defend this. I mean, he had the code of law, he had the wheel. So economy wise, he has the edge. But yeah, he doesn't have any army. So he's gonna lose those workers. And that's a big difference, right? So in that perspective, Sigh has the lead. Well, Sigh is winning for sure. Because Andre pretty much gave up when you do that. Or maybe he was busy somewhere else. I don't know. This is gonna be a bit hard. It's gonna be a bit hard. But he is gathering food somewhere. But he has all the west for him. Look at that. Look at that amount of animals. This is a lot of animals. Anyways. So now those heavy spearmen. I'm kind of wondering. Did he get any forge? Okay. So Sigh is getting the forge. And Andre is calling GG. So what happened here? Why did Sigh win? Well, first thing first, Sigh had the edge in terms of economy. Look at this. Look at this base. This is unfair. He had all of this, all of that for himself. He had the advantage, and worker count start to mess up. So yeah, it's definitely a substantial difference. Alright. I want to see another one. Alright, so who do we have here? We have Andre against Sigh, another one. So let's see if Andre will do some vengeance and win. Who knows? I don't know. So I really like the zoom. It's crazy. Look at this. Look at this zoom. You can see all the map. It's kind of cool. Alright, let's start with the basics, right? Andre, first thing first, he spawned his village center. He didn't wait more than 1 second. He immediately spawned it. And he went to hunt the boars, which I have to say in advance, boars are dangerous. Very dangerous animals. And workers are not very smart because they focus on 3 different boars at the same time, which is not very efficient. So there is something going on there. Maybe we should tell the devs to change the algorithm there to focus on the lowest HP target and not the closest HP target. I mean, or a mixture of the two, something like that, because that's definitely not the right way to focus on those boars. Anyways, so that's the idea there. On the north, what Sigh is doing, actually Sigh had it much easier. He had mufflons, or what are those? I don't know. Goats. He had goats. Special goats. Cross map. Yeah, they have a bit more of a distance, but the map is actually not fair if you think about it. Because he had the meat early on. Well, he had to face boars, which pretty much delayed him. So that's why you see food difference at the very right corner there. So, how many workers are we talking about here? We are talking... It's hard to know, because I cannot click... Yeah? I cannot click them. Now he's scouting him, that's kinda cool, that's kinda cool. Alright, but now he's taking the battle, but it's fine, he has more workers, more or less. So I see a very clear pattern. So after a few workers, probably 6, 7, more or less, then you put 3 workers on clay, and the rest on wood. Now the reason why only 3, maybe just enough, you know, if you don't use clay that much early on, then 3 is enough, because you just gather clay over time, and there's no rush, you know, it just gathers, it doesn't run away. And of course everything costs clay, but at the same time If you don't build every minute, then it's fine. Right. So now it's just a point of just gathering meat. Building dwellings once in a while, make sure you're not pop cap, because you're gonna be pop cap soon enough. And actually Sigh is gonna be pop cap any second now. Let's see if he's gonna build. Oh yes he will, but he's gonna be pop capped. Has to be. Let's see if he is. Huh? No? Yes, he is pop cap, like I said. And somehow he's still producing workers randomly. Or maybe to be more precise, he is producing a worker, but the worker can only come out if he has extra pop. So, I didn't know that. Okay, that's new. For me, it's different. I didn't know that. I thought you will be pop capped automatically, but I guess it's different. So, why do you build a granary there? You can always build a resource camp. Probably it's few reasons, right? So you have berries nearby and also mufflons, which pretty much extra resources, but I would rather build the berries here. Let's see if he doesn't have the vision. He has the vision, that's kind of sus. Why not build there then? You can have all of these berries for yourself and all of these animals for yourself, but that's quite far away. So maybe being efficient, you don't want to travel that much, or to be precise, you don't want idle time. So I guess that's the compromise. That's a compromise, and it's okay. It's not a big deal, you know? It's closer to your base, safer. So it's a compromise. Alright. Sigh is the first one who will build the palace ASAP. Resources wise, Sigh has the edge. I think so. Let's see. So we got the wood cutting, we got the palace, and just economy going up, you know? And we got workers being idle or not? What are they doing? Aha! Granary, frontline, gathering the meat. That's a valid choice. Now I haven't talked about it, but let's talk about the fertile land. So Andre has all of this fertile land for himself. That's kind of nice, and a bit on the west, but that's a little bit far. So he will only start with this land. On the other hand, we have here Sigh, pretty similar amount, but it's a bit safer, I think, and he's connected to this east thingy. So I think Sigh has a better fertile land, just a bit better. So it's kinda okay. But one thing that Sigh didn't do correctly, he built his village center exactly on the fertile tiles, which is a bit sus. You should, I mean not sus, it should have been a little bit on the west if he could, or maybe on the north a bit more, because it shouldn't matter that much. But yeah, it's a small difference, but it could be helpful a bit if you can do that. Yeah, this is a bit better in my opinion. Anyways, so now we got palace from 2 players, but at the north, Sigh has the advantage because he's gonna steal all, not steal, because this is the middle, so it could be like a neutral area. But now Sigh is controlling this, and he has infinite amount of food for quite some time, probably 10 minutes, no problem. That's a lot of food. He has berries, he has boars. What are they? Meat? That's a lot of meat. He has mufflons, he has deers. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a lot. So the first thing he's producing is archers, and one thing that in the new patch, they pretty much made archers much more fragile, because now archers don't have any armor upgrades, I think. So they can die faster, but any range units have a better attack animations, not animation, like attack pals or whatnot. I don't know how to describe it. They attack more efficiently when you move them and when you change targets. So it's much more fluid now. So you can use range units with more efficiency. And that's gonna make the difference for range units. So although they got nerfs, we also got buffs. So I guess that's something to think about. Alright, so Andre is producing some heavy spearmen. So those heavy spearmen will definitely be able to take some punch, well, range damage. Speed wise, they're the same speed as archers, but every time archers fire, they are stuck. They're stuck in the position, so spearmen will catch up And like you see here, while those archers are running away, well, the distance doesn't change because they have the same speed. So we're gonna just absorb them. We're just gonna view how units move around the map, and we're just gonna see that, well, there is pathfinding, and pathfinding, we'll see how it works here. Well, not very interesting indeed. Anyway, so what tech points, I don't know, tech skills or whatnot, Sigh got. So after the starting thing, he got will. So that's a pattern thing that we see. Sigh wants will, and on the other hand, Andre, he got, oh, he didn't get woodcutting, that's surprising. But he got will and code of law. But the only thing I'm bothered with, yeah, you got 40% training speed, but okay. So if you're in negative food, but without skill, with that tech skill, whatnot, you get minus 10%. So now it's a bit more nicer, I guess. But Sigh, on the other hand, well, Sigh has 100 food. He gets 20%. So this tech point, this thing is not really doing anything for Andre in that point, in that reference, right? They're very similar. So will is actually more efficient in that perspective. Because if you have more than 0 food, then you're better. But if you have below 0 food, then that tech is not very handy. But I guess it's about what you want to use it for, right? Anyways, so let's go back to Andre. Andre has below 0 food for quite some time. Now remember, Sigh has all the food here that he wants. So that's really maximizing his food. And we don't see a lot of farms yet from Sigh. Granted, he had a lot of meat to gather, so that's something to consider. Now he has idle workers. Probably they don't know what they're supposed to do. So now the question is, how long will they be idle? Let's see. Should I put a clock on? Let's put a clock on. All right, they're idle for 20 seconds already? What is this? Come on, Sigh. I know you probably see it. Come on, Sigh. You should see idle button, something here. A lot of idle. 10 idle? Something like that. He's probably busy on the front line. But man, this is huge resource you could have got. You have negative food. This is huge. Oh man, Sigh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt your eco. I think you're gonna lose because of this. Nah, not really, but wait, come on, man. That's already a minute. Anyways, so at the front line, now the front line is a bit more chill. Will he notice that he has so many idle? Yeah? No? Bruh. The front line is chill. Idle. Click on the idle button. Finally, it's a goddamn miracle. After 1 minute and who knows how long, probably 1 to 2 minutes, who knows. He finally figured out that he has so many idle. I think Sigh is probably, how did I miss this? Now I know I have negative food. And now he knows why he cannot produce army. Alright, so both players have some disadvantage right now. Especially Sigh, because all of this time he didn't produce a lot of knowledge. If you don't have food, you cannot produce knowledge efficiently. You have to put pristines, but even then it's not that much, you know? Only when you get the scribe's ability, then you get a lot of knowledge, even when you don't get any food. So we got bronze smelting from Sigh, so that means there is some insidious plan, or to be precise, armor for units and damage. I don't know what he's getting because I don't see the thingies, but I can definitely tell that he's planning to get every single upgrade. And by the image here, this heavy X-Men has already achieved 1 such upgrade, right? Yeah, he hasn't got anything from here, so he definitely got something. Right. I think he got something from there. I'm not too sure. Anyways, so now we have some Andre cooking up some spearmen in the mix, some archers in the mix as well. Let's see. Sigh has a huge food, so he can outproduce workers now. He can produce a lot of workers. He's probably gonna get a scribe soon. I mean, he has 5 knowledge. That's a lot of knowledge. Let's see what he gets. Or maybe he's just gonna wait until he gets those. I don't know. Andre on the other side here. Well, now that he has the code of law, he doesn't have. I mean, he has the code of law for quite some time, and he doesn't have any negative food. This tech thing is very handy. So now this tech thing is very, very good because that's giving him the advantage in the number of people, and you can be starving for longer periods of time. And you can see here many farms coming up or came up already. And eventually Andre will have to go east-westward to gather farms here. Or just gather meat here. That's a lot of meat, I'm just saying. That can alleviate food for quite some time. But especially this area, that's a lot of wood, but also a lot of good area to farm in. There is quite some army from Andre, but that army needs to do more, right? So we got some light axemen. I don't know what upgrades he got for them. Okay, so elite light axemen. So they are faster. They have more range armor. So that's pretty much makes them less vulnerable. But the most important thing is their speed. The speedy bastards can go and destroy houses with ease. And they can go around the map and start to harass. Pretty much harass. Make sure the opponent doesn't expand. So that's what I'll primarily use. Axemen, just to go around the map, harass wherever there's a building and whatnot. Although you can do the same thing with sappers, but light axemen are cheaper. And now there is no military from Sigh. And although slingers have been nerfed, right, it's still 2 damage to buildings. And that's not that low, but definitely much more reasonable now. So now, yeah, so now Sigh needs to mass up a big army. He did produce some swordsmen, but there is a problem. It's only good against melee, not much against range. And their speed is not that high, and there is enough melee units at the front to kill any swordsman. I think Sigh is starting to sweat a little. A lot. Probably a lot. Because this is a big army. So what Andre has... Okay. So Andre can now maybe put for Elite Slinger, or just gonna save a bit. It doesn't really matter at this point. So something worth mentioning, so improve wood cutting, I saw that they got most of the time. Code of Law or Wheelbarrow, both of them are equally strong, I saw pretty much. And then afterwards, it really depends. Farming if you want more food, and mining if you want to get metal. That's actually not very important at this stage because I don't think he even needs anymore. Now this is actually important. Although, actually yeah. Sigh doesn't have the economy. If he lose the palace, it is GG. Because that means he cannot produce. Yes, this is GG. Look, Sigh doesn't have the economy to make another palace. And more importantly, it cannot produce any palisade units. But still, those swordsmen, they're kind of thick, you know, they're really strong. They're not dying easily. But yeah, when you have enough army, you can still kill the swordsmen. Those swordsmen are strong, but yeah, they die fast if you have enough of army to do that. And now all of the all of the workers from Sigh are fighting against the remaining armies, and all all that Andre has to do is just pushing, and the GG has been called. Sigh has decided to take the towel up and surrender. Frankly speaking, he put too much effort into metal, into the upgrades. His food wasn't keeping up with his upgrades. He should have produced more into general units. Swordsmen are much more expensive, and only certain usages. Well, if you reached until this point, so thank you for watching the video. Consider subscribing to my channel if you liked the video, commenting, liking, all the good stuff. And yeah, see you on the next one.